This is Terry Busch, Business Development Manager at mation for the Industrial Internet, Cybersecurity, and Remote Access products. In this video, we'll be discussing implementing secure remote access the right way, keeping hackers out. If you've been paying attention to the news lately, you've heard of many cyber attacks. These attacks are against our industrial control systems, designed to create havoc and fear. Some are from foreign governments and some are from disgruntled ex-employees. One of the most recent and notable attacks was against the Florida City water supply. This remote access solution password protected the PCs with a password, and then that password was shared amongst a large team of people. A bad actor got that password and was able to access critical control systems. So what can you do to implement secure remote access? Several years ago, the Department of Homeland Security recommended 7 strategies to defend industrial control systems. These 7 strategies are listed here, and today we're going to talk about implementing secure remote access. If you're curious about remote access and how it works, please watch the video in the description on what is remote access. When designing a cybersecurity solution, security is extremely important, but ease of use is important as well, otherwise users won't like to use the product. So where could your secure remote access solution fall? If it's insecure and complicated, it's too hard. People don't want to use it. And if it's insecure, what's the point? If it's super secure, but it's very complicated, lots of different passwords, they may change all the time using all kinds of different characters, maybe 20 characters long. That's fine, but it leads to backdoors. Somebody might implement a different remote access solution in the facility that you may be completely unaware of. Insecure and ease of use makes happy users. Users can get in, very easy passwords like the Florida hack, but it also makes happy hackers. You can have both security and ease of use and keep the bad guys out. Here are some key features you want of your secure remote access, and today we'll be using Secomea as an example. User access, straightforward deployment of a security hierarchy. Multi-factor authentication, expiring credentials. Lock the user login to the first PC where the credentials were used. Limit the user access to the end device IP and port only. An auto firewall. Audit logs so you can see who has been doing what. All server communications must be encrypted between the clients and servers. And finally, if you really don't trust anyone, you should be able to buy your own server. In this video, we'll be implementing Secomea, our secure remote access solution. The Secomea solution has 3 major components. First is a gate manager. The gate manager is the server that users and devices connect to. Second are link managers. Those are users. And third is the site manager installed inside the control panel, wired up to your industrial equipment. All communications between the servers and the endpoints must be secure. The link manager connects to the host gate manager via HTTPS or port 443. All traffic between the link manager and the gate manager is then encrypted. The site manager makes a connection to the gate manager via port 11444 or port 80 or port 443. So each one of those is checked, and when it's successful, then it uses that and encrypts the traffic. The traffic between the site manager and the industrial equipment may or may not be encrypted due to the limitations of the industrial equipment. In this document, there's going to be extra details for those IT professionals that want to read up on how all the security is handled. And a link to this document will be in the description. Let's look at the straightforward deployment and security hierarchy. Up on top, you'll see your domain name. That's where all your devices and customers will be located. You can create subdomains, like in this example we have customer 1 through 4. Under each of the customers, you can have your customer devices. In this example, we have site manager number 2 under customer number 2. You can also create subdomains. So I'm going to create a new subdomain, and this one I'm going to call PLC. And now I can take my PLCs and drag and drop them into subdomains. The advantage to putting a PLC in a subdomain is you can limit who has access to what. So maybe this particular user down here is Terry Busch ABC, is a link manager user. I could drag that user up and put him in that subdomain. Now, customer number 1 has a PLC subdomain, and Terry Busch has access to PLC 1 and nothing else. Now let's talk about multi-factor authentication and expiring credentials. I'm going to create a brand new user, and I want that user to be a link manager user. A link manager user is somebody that would connect to devices for troubleshooting, uploading, and downloading of programs. A link manager user cannot see other users and also cannot create subdomains. We're going to call this one Terry User. And we do have to fill out username and email. If I put a mobile number in here, then I'm able to have 3 factors of authentication. As you notice, it could be just certificate and password, or certificate, password, and SMS code. So certificate is something you possess, a password is something that you know, and the SMS code would also be something you possess, which would be your cell phone. We can also configure when the account will be automatically disabled. I'll allow that user to be online for 1 day, 3 days, 7 days. After that, they will be disabled. And finally, save the account and send the certificate and password to the new user. Once I've created that user, I can move that user to any subdomain. In this example, I'm moving that user to customer number 1 subdomain. So this particular person, Terry User, will be able to see this PLC directory, PLC1, as well as the site manager, and each one of those devices the site manager has access to. Now let's log into the site manager. I can select the site manager and log into the site manager GUI. When logging into the site manager, you can add agents, and those agents will clearly define the port numbers and the IP addresses for the device. In this example, we have a GE PLC and an Allen Bradley PLC. Both of those devices have specific ports that allow traffic to flow, and here is the IP address for those specific devices. So as we're configuring those devices, they'll show up in the list. You can look at the device and see the manufacturer and the Ethernet configuration for the device. And you'll also notice that in this example again, Terry Busch ABC will only have access to this PLC, this IP address, using whatever port a GE IP PLC uses. Now let's take a look at some of the extra settings inside of the root domain. Under domain settings, we have password change interval, how many days, password expiration notice, how many days. We also have the ability to lock the Link Manager client. Locking the Link Manager client will prevent that client from using any other computer than the first computer that they logged in with. Each subdomain has its own audit trail, so you're able to see who has been doing what. You can see when somebody logs in, goes to an appliance, deletes accounts, everything. You can also automate reporting and give yourself a daily, weekly, or monthly report. With the Secomea solution, you can own your own server. You can buy your own site managers, allow external users to connect into your gate manager, and you can data log. For more information, click on the link for On-Premise IIoT with Secomea for the end users. Click on the links below for more information, or contact your PowerMation sales representative to get started.